Hey Reddit, let me start off by saying I'm not crazy, or at least I don't think I am. I suppose I'll leave it up to you at the reader. I couldn't tell you if I'm dealing with a ghost, a demon, or something else beyond my grasp. Any light you could shed on this subject would be great. My story starts out innocent enough. 2 months ago, I was at Walmart when I saw a life-size doll that looked just like my daughter, Abby. Again, Walmart. Not an estate sale, not an abandoned building, and not even some creepy one-off clearance item without a box or price tag. There were dozens of them. I even added the link to the doll at the end, if I remember. Anyway, I texted my wife a picture of the doll, and she admitted they looked similar, so I bought it on a whim. When I first showed Abby the doll, I asked her who it looks like. "It's a baby Shrek," she squealed. Clearly not on the same page as me. "Don't you think it looks a little bit just like you? It could be your twin sister," I asked, feeling foolish, hoping to convince her to side with me. Twin sister," she yells, grabbing the doll and dancing around the room. Mission accomplished. I take Abby out for ice cream and ask if she wants to bring her sister along. "Yes, Daddy. What's my sister's name?" I'm not very quick-witted, so I'm surprised when I instantly blurt out, "Tabitha." "Tabby," she says with delight. She's smart for a 3-year-old, but struggles with bigger words. Actually, Abby and Tabby would be perfect names for twins. Twin names always have those corny, awkward ring to 'em, like twin friends, Donnie and Danny. A couple days later, Abby and Tabby were inseparable. Abby has never had an imaginary friend, so I was surprised to see her get so attached to Tabitha. We live in a small town, and so far the only neighborhood kid even close to her age is 7, and he's a brat. So I'm happy to see her bonding with someone until she starts preschool. I start to play along and begin to share my daughter's enthusiasm for Tabby, talking and playing with her just like I would with my actual daughter. My wife tells me she needs to take Abby to finish immunizations. She needs she knows I won't go because she's stronger than me. I can't bear to see my baby girl cry when they poke her with a needle. I load Abby in the car seat and kiss her on the forehead. "Sit here, sweetie, while I go get Tabby." "Tabby doesn't need her shots, Daddy. She's all." Surprised at her change in perception about her sister, I asked, "Don't you want someone to keep you company?" "No, Daddy. You you can take care of her while I go to the doctor." The car pulls away, and I wave goodbye and blow kisses, as I always do. As soon as they are around the corner, I sprint up to the attic. I have a mini fridge up there to keep my beer out of Abby's hands. I can't remember the last time I had a cold one to myself. And with a couple of hours to spare, I might as well take some me time. And I crack one open and bring the rest of the six-pack downstairs. I haven't seen adult TV shows since long I've forgotten how to swear effectively. Always Sunny in Philadelphia is on. I'm in the zone. I'm only a few minutes in when I feel the stare. There's Tabitha on the other end of the couch looking right at me. As the rational man I am, I shrug it off and laugh. I taunt her with the "eat shit, you Paul-killing bitch." The show is rubbing off on me, and I already the show is rubbing off on me already, and I can't stop giggling. Time for a pee break. My bathroom is on the other side of the room, so I freeze when I emerge to Tabitha's, once again looking directly into my eyes. Spooked, I moved all around my living room, trying to escape her icy, lifeless stare. Though the doll is like fucking Mona Lisa, and I'm not able, I'm not about to let it ruin my daddy time. I man up and toss it into Abby's room. Although still weirded out, I enjoy a few more episodes of Always Sunny and polish off the beers. It'll take a lot more than a creepy doll to keep me from enjoying these precious few moments alone. 2 days later, I had entirely forgotten about the whole thing. Abby and Tabby and I were back to our usual selves, playing Tea Party, writing postcards to Grandma, and living the American dream. We plan a picnic tomorrow together and head out to the backyard to feast. Abby and Tabby nibble on their snacks while I lay back in the hammock. I hear whispering and look over to see what they're up to. The first thing I see is those fucking doll's eyes. Her head is twisted around behind her, and she's looking directly at me while Abigail is sitting on the opposite side of her. "What did you do to Tabby's neck, sweetie?" I stammer. My daughter looks at me with the same cold stare. "She's looking at you because she doesn't like you, Daddy." It gets worse. It gets much worse. 3 weeks go by, and that doll always seems to be somewhere she shouldn't be. Every time I wake up, Tabitha's eyes are the first thing I see. No matter who is in the room, her eyes are always focused on me. I'm not about to admit to anyone what is going on, so after 2 sleepless nights, relieved to have to go out of town on a work trip. I hit Sacramento and call my wife from my room's phone and let her know I made it there safely. I'm halfway through telling her goodnight as I'm sleepy opening the luggage for my pajamas. I scream when I see Tabby glaring at me. My wife is laughing as the people next door pound on the wall to quiet me down. "Abby wanted you to have company on your trip." I don't have a chance to compose myself when I hear my daughter in the background for the begging for the phone. "Daddy, did you find Tabby? I sent her with you so you guys could learn to be friends. I miss her so much. Please take good care of her, Dad." My instincts are to chuck the fucking thing right then and there, but I'm a grown-ass man, and my daughter deserves better. I took the doll down and to the parking lot and I shove her into the trunk. I get back up to my room and can scarcely sleep. I finally pass out about 6 a.m. and wake up with a start. 1 hour later, I open my eyes, expecting to see the doll in bed next to me, but I'm alone. After a miserable continental breakfast, I pop my trunk, and there she is. I'm shocked she stayed put, but after a month of torture and a few sleepless nights, I'm at my wit's end. I decide to just buy my daughter a new toy. Hell, I'll buy her a dozen new toys to get rid of this thing. There's a dumpster at the other end of the lot, and I take great joy in marching over there to end this nightmare. I open the lid, and just as I'm about to drop her, I get that same feeling I got from when I first saw the doll. This just looks just like my daughter. I can't do this. I somehow finish my meeting in Northern California and decide to just tough it out and drive back home. Tonight, I was a psychology I was a psychology wreck and needed my wife and my daughter. I put Tabby in the front seat and talk to her the whole drive home. I think I see her turn her head to me out of the corner of my eye, but I choose to ignore it. This whole, I choose to ignore it this whole time. Somehow, I make it back in one piece. My daughter gives me a kiss and yanks Tabitha out of my arms. Tabby, I missed you so much. I was happy to see my daughter smile and dance around the room with Tabby. They really do look so much alike. As Abby carries her twin sister down the hall into her room for the bed, the doll's head twists around and glares daggers right through me. I can't believe I fell for that, I think to myself. She cornered her way out of the dumpster this morning, but it ends tomorrow. So here we are. Today is the day. I haven't slept a wink last night, and my wife is taking my daughter to her sister's house for brunch. My two little girls, my two little girls sit hands in hand on the couch, and I scoop Abigail up and carry her to the driveway. My wife rushes past and sits in the front seat. Sorry you're not feeling so well, she says. We'll get back in a few hours. I hurried and buckled Abby into her car seat and tell her Tabby and I will be here when she gets back. I shut the door before she can protest, and I excitedly wave goodbye and blow kisses. I sprint back into the house as soon as they turn the corner. I probably got a little too much pleasure in disposing of that disposing of that evil fucking doll. Even though she never actually hurt me, I know what she was capable of, and I had to strike first. The first thing I did was pop those ghastly little eyes out. No more ghostly stares from you. I ripped all of her hair out, shredded her clothes, and swung her into the coffee table from her feet. I couldn't believe how good it felt. It only took 15 minutes to finish Tabby off. I put her into the neighbor's garbage so my wife wouldn't stumble across her. I came around the corner, surprised to see my wife pulling into the driveway. She must have forgotten something. She angrily rolled down the window and yells, "What is wrong with you? Get the doll out of the car seat and go get Abigail." I looked down at my blood-soaked hands and wish I had never bought that cursed doll.